Good morning, folks. Bart Heights live here, Supreme Court's day 4 of our play dates, and we're joined by very special guest, Coach Lindsey Crumpton of the Hartselle Lady Tigers in her first year, Lydia Simmons, and Jaden Chesser. Great conversation off camera with these ladies. Having some fun here this morning, getting started off. But Coach, first year, coming back to 6A, you've been there before. But what have you seen since the middle of June? Positives. What are some positives that you feel about your program, and how they play out your day?
Well, we haven't played yet, so we're excited about today. I think the big thing for our gym right now is we're working on changing a little bit of culture. So I think our kids are really embracing the whole mentality of process and control what you can control. So like what we're trying to drill in them is you can only control the process. We can't control results. And so we're really trying to flip that mindset right now with our kids and just get 1% better every day. So we have a big training for October type of mentality. And so from that standpoint, it has been really great to see the girls push themselves in that aspect and be able to play a little bit more freely, because we're more focused on process rather than results right now. So
And 2 games today?
4 today.
4 games today. 4 games in a single day is a lot, I would think, girls. But volleyball is one of those fast-paced sports that continues to go. You got to be in shape. I'm starting to learn all this stuff, as I was telling y'all. But I want to talk about you two a little bit. Or actually, I'd like for you to talk about each other a little bit. First of all, Jaden, what do you like about playing with Lydia? I know y'all like hanging out. That's obvious, but just the camaraderie as teammates is great and friends. But what do you like about her and her game?
I like that. I know that Lydia will hold me accountable, and that she'll always cheer me on, even if I mess up. She'll have my back, knowing that I can maybe get the next point, and that she'll always show up. We're just committed to every day. It's a process.
You might be some of the leaders on this team. But talk about Jaden a little bit.
Yeah, she's definitely a big leader on the team, very encouraging to everybody, and she's like probably one of the only people I've played with for so long, so I just know that she's always there.
So, Coach, what talked about the meshing, figuring out in this first couple of weeks, couple of months, if you will. What are some weaknesses that you see that you feel like as a team y'all need to work on already?
Right now we've been at it for most of June, but we have a lot of softball kids in our program. And so we work really hard as a school to help support those kids and doing multiple sports. And so, like today, we only have 8 or 9 kids today because we're still missing some softball kids. So, our softball kids get after it. They get after it. We're going to stay with indoor sports over here. But anyways, I think, right now in the gym, because we've been missing those kids, you can see some weaknesses. But I think those kids plug back in, maybe a different perspective. But we're really focused on the ball control component, like getting better at the serve pass game. These 2 kids are obviously 2 offensive players for us. Lydia's hands down one of the best blockers I've actually been able to coach in all my years of coaching. And both are very big offensively for us. But our big focus is we got to get better at the serve and pass game, just the first contact part of the game.
Through the interviews yesterday, doing those first ones, I started really understanding there's a huge trust in getting that ball from point A
Yeah.
on both sides,
Yeah.
and that's just kind of different than in a lot of sports if you really think about how important that is. So weaknesses individually, Jaden, what do you need to work on, moving toward October, if you will, and when it really is going to matter? What do you got to get better at this team to do better?
I definitely think communicating more. I've started playing back row this past season, and I know that whenever my hitters, I need to tell them what's open. I'm not very good at speaking really quick, so in the moment I need to be telling them what's open and just communicating more, because it's really just a game of communication.
That's the other one, communication, trust. It seems to be the same. It's just so big in volleyball. Any weaknesses?
Yeah, we have a bunch of younger players, and I know it's hard to not just focus on yourself, but really just need to build them up and get them to where they need to be in October, because a lot of them haven't seen that big competition before. So that's a huge deal.
That is a very big deal. How you mesh the young talent, the young mindset, with the ability is any program, no matter what sport it is. All right, so Coach, 6A, 3-4A, now back to 6A. Is there a difference?
There is. There is. Being at Hartselle the past 2 years, I mean, the competition level, I mean, it is a little bit different. Now, I will say this, I was prided myself when I was in that 4A arena trying to play the best teams. I wanted to play the best teams. I didn't care what the score was. I wanted to play the best teams, and so I tried to give my kids back then that experience. But this is a different ball game. When you go against these 6A teams, a lot of these kids, they do volleyball year round. And like I said, a lot of our kids are multi-sport athletes, so they're doing all the things. Another thing that I noticed is a big thing for our kids are in multiple AP classes. I think both of them, most of my kids are taking academic classes this summer. So on top of our volleyball schedule, their softball schedules, they're in classes this summer to continue to get ahead. And so they juggle a lot. And so, but yeah, Bayside, one of the big teams in the state, now they're in 6A.
I know about Bayside. We played
I left
basketball
4A
there.
and thought I got away from them. Now here they are again. But anyways, the level it's a higher level of volleyball, but I'm excited to be at this level.
I don't think you're going to have any problem getting you competing or getting these girls to compete. But she spoke to something I think is extremely important about your community. I want to touch on it. Girls, if you could have just in your own words, the education at Hartselle is phenomenal. Everybody knows that. One of the best school systems in the state, always has been. And you are being prepared to, whether it's move on in the community and be a part of that, or move on further than that, and you'll be able to excel outside in the world. But speak to that support. And just how much, whether it's people coming to games, whether it's your teachers, why is it different at Hartselle? And why is the support just so good?
Yeah, the culture, just everybody buying into every sport, not just us, is huge. And it just really affects the energy of everything.
We just know that they'll follow us wherever we go. So it's good to always trust that we may not be the best, but our fans think
It's always been. I mean, anytime you see Hartselle coming, you better have some seats ready because they are well followed. And so Coach Crumpton, thank you. Lydia, Jaden, Hartselle Lady Tigers. Looking forward to them this season, and I think Hartselle's going to be relevant. There's some excitement. Y'all pay attention to them. Thanks for joining us.